Have you felt it? A strange shift in the air around you today? A sudden, unexplained weight on your chest, or a series of thoughts that seem to come from a place much deeper than your own mind? The people around you might feel distant, as if an invisible veil has fallen between you and the world you thought you knew. This is not a coincidence, and it is not just a bad day. According to the famed psychic Sylvia B, this specific subtle sensation is the universe's first silent signal. It means a profound spiritual test has already begun, and the energy around you is transforming to prepare you for an elevation you cannot yet see. What you are feeling right now is just the beginning. Close your eyes for just a moment and imagine yourself standing at the edge of an ancient silent forest, just as the sun begins to set. A thick, blue-tinged mist creeps between the trees, blurring the familiar paths and muting all the sounds you have come to rely on. You feel a profound isolation, a quiet so deep it seems to have a physical weight, pressing in on you from all sides. This is not a scene from a fantasy film. This is a perfect metaphor for the spiritual and energetic crossroads you may have found yourself in today, a moment where the very fabric of your reality feels thin and strangely altered without any logical explanation. The profound spiritual teacher Sylvia B spoke extensively of these moments, warning that the universe never sends its most important tests with thunder and lightning. Instead, they begin like this very scene, in utter silence and with a gradual, almost imperceptible shift in the atmosphere of your own life. You might have woken up today with a peculiar heaviness in your heart, a sense of dread or anticipation you cannot name, or found yourself replaying memories and conversations with a new, critical depth that feels both alien and urgent. This is the universe's primary method of initiation, a sacred and terrifying process where it begins to strip away the non-essential layers of your existence. Brown firmly believed that when the cosmos decides you are ready for a significant ascent, a leap in your spiritual evolution, the very first step is always one of deliberate and purposeful isolation. It is not an isolation of physical solitude, but a far more potent one, the isolation of your mind and soul from the distractions, opinions, and false comforts they have grown accustomed to. What you are experiencing right now, this subtle but undeniable disconnection, is therefore not a sign of something going wrong, but the clearest indicator that something profoundly right is beginning to stir in the depths of your being. The universe is not punishing you, it is preparing you. It is clearing the stage of all the noise so that for the first time you can finally hear the truth of your own soul speak. And it is in this sacred, silent space that your real journey begins. The first and most profound test the universe presents is a deep, pervasive sense of energetic isolation, a feeling that you are suddenly operating on a different frequency than everyone else in your life. This is not merely about feeling lonely on a quiet Saturday night. This is a fundamental shift in your connection to the world around you. You could be in a room full of laughing friends, at a vibrant family dinner, or in the middle of a busy office, and yet you feel an invisible, intangible barrier separating you from the warmth and noise of it all. Conversations that used to captivate you now feel superficial, and the daily gossip and dramas that once consumed your thoughts now seem trivial and distant, as if you are watching a play from behind a thick pane of glass. Sylvia B emphasized that this isolation is a deliberate divine strategy, a necessary quarantine for your soul, because true transformation cannot begin until the old external influences are silenced, forcing you to turn your gaze inward and confront what you find there. This isolation naturally gives birth to the second sign, a sudden and intense deepening of your own thoughts, a cascade of introspection that can feel both enlightening and overwhelming. You will find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew about your life. your career path, your relationships, your core beliefs, and your very purpose on this earth. Old memories, especially those tinged with regret or unresolved pain, will resurface with startling clarity, not to haunt you, but because the universe is now compelling you to finally face them and heal the wounds you have been carrying. Your mind becomes a sacred and sometimes terrifying chamber where every life choice, every heartbreak, and every dream is laid bare for review. And this internal dialogue is the primary tool the universe uses to shatter the illusions you have lived under and reveal the raw, unvarnished truth of who you are and what you are truly capable of becoming. Alongside this mental upheaval, you will likely experience a third, more physical sensation, a palpable change in the energy around you, a strange and heavy atmosphere that seems to cling to your personal space. You might walk into your own home and feel a subtle, yet distinct shift in the air, as if the room itself is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. This energetic weight is the manifestation of the spiritual pressure being applied to your aura, a pressure designed to compress your old self and all its limitations, much like coal is compressed to form a diamond. It is the feeling of the cosmic forces gathering around you, rearranging the very particles of your reality to align with a higher, more authentic version of your destiny. And while this pressure can be uncomfortable, even anxiety-inducing, it is a sure sign that a powerful alchemical process is already underway within your soul. The fourth sign is perhaps the most challenging to understand, and that is the unexplained and often sudden distancing or departure of certain people from your life. As your energy begins to vibrate at this new, purified frequency, it will naturally and automatically repel those souls whose energies are incompatible with your new path. These are not necessarily bad people. They are simply people whose contracts with you have reached their expiration date, whose lessons you have learned, or whose presence would now only serve to hold you back. Relationships that once felt solid may become strained for no apparent reason. Communication may falter, and you may find yourself feeling surprisingly indifferent to people you once believed you could not live without. And this is the universe's merciful way of clearing your circle to make space for the new, aligned connections that are waiting to enter your life. Recognizing these signs is the first crucial step in navigating this test, for to name the experience is to begin to reclaim your power within it. This phase is not a descent into darkness, but rather a necessary passage through the sacred void, the fertile emptiness where all true creation must begin. The feeling of being set adrift from your old anchors is terrifying, but it is only in that state of freefall that you can discover you have wings you never knew existed. The universe is not abandoning you in this misty forest. It is simply asking you to trust the path it is revealing one step at a time, a path that is visible only to your soul and not to your fearful, rational mind, and your willingness to walk it alone, for now, is the very proof of your readiness for what comes next. Once you recognize the signs of isolation and shifting energy, the universe will begin to administer the core tests themselves. And the first of these is the test of faith and surrender. This is not a passive resignation, but an active, courageous trust in the unseen process unfolding within you. You will be confronted with situations that your logical mind cannot solve, problems where every door seems to slam shut, and paths that lead nowhere. The universe is deliberately creating these dead ends to force you to stop relying solely on your own limited human understanding and to begin trusting the divine intelligence that is guiding you. It is a test designed to break your addiction to control, to make you understand that you are being led, even when you feel utterly lost. And the only way to pass this test is to consciously release your grip, take a deep breath into the uncertainty, and affirm that you trust the journey, even when you cannot see the destination. The second, and often most painful test, is the test of emotional purification and radical release. As the energy around you intensifies, it acts like a spiritual fire, rising to burn away all the emotional baggage you have been carrying for lifetimes. This is why old wounds, past betrayals, and deep-seated fears will surface with such violent clarity. They are not coming back to hurt you, but because the universe is giving you one final critical opportunity to feel them fully and release them forever. You may experience sudden waves of grief for no reason, bursts of anger at old injustices, or a profound sadness that seems to have no source. This is the emotional detoxification process, and it is essential to let these emotions flow through you without judgment or resistance. For by acknowledging them and letting them go, you are purifying your soul's vessel, making it lighter and clearer to hold the higher vibrations that are coming your way. The third core test is the test of discernment and the courage to walk alone. As your vibration rises, your perception of truth will become razor sharp, and you will begin to see the people and situations in your life with a startling and sometimes uncomfortable clarity. You will see the hidden manipulations in certain relationships, the subtle lies you have been telling yourself, and the compromises you have made that are out of alignment with your soul's truth. The universe is testing your commitment to this new authenticity by presenting you with clear choices. Do you continue to play the old games to keep the peace, or do you honor your new truth, even if it means standing completely alone? This test demands that you choose your soul's integrity over social comfort, and it is one of the most difficult yet most liberating stages of the entire process, for it forges within you an unshakable inner authority. These three tests of faith, emotional release, and discernment are not sequential. They often overlap and intertwine, creating a period of intense spiritual turbulence. You may feel as though you are being pulled in multiple directions at once, with your mind demanding answers, your heart overflowing with old pain, and your spirit demanding you speak your truth. It is crucial to understand that this chaotic phase is not a sign of failure, but of profound activation. The universe is stress testing the very foundations of your being, identifying the weak points of fear and attachment so that they can be shattered and rebuilt with the unbreakable materials of trust, self-love, and sovereign truth. Navigating this phase requires a conscious practice of grounding and self-nurturing. You must become your own sanctuary. When the weight feels too heavy, you must consciously connect to the earth, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that this pressure is transformative. When the past rises up, you must hold space for your own pain with the compassion of a loving parent. And when you are faced with a choice between truth and comfort, you must learn to whisper a gentle but firm no to anything that does not honor the magnificent soul you are becoming. This is how you move from being a passive recipient of the test to an active co-creator of your own ascension. The final and most crucial phase of this spiritual test is not about merely enduring it, but about learning to consciously navigate the shifting energy and actively participate in your own rebirth. This begins with a profound shift in your perception, where you stop viewing this period as a curse or a trial of suffering and start recognizing it as the sacred initiation that it truly is. Every moment of isolation, every surge of old emotion, every difficult choice is a deliberate stroke in the masterpiece that is your higher self. The moment you make this cognitive shift, you reclaim your power from the situation. You are no longer a victim of cosmic forces, but a willing student in the universe's most advanced class for your soul, and this change in perspective alone will begin to dissolve the fear and resistance that have been making the process feel so heavy and overwhelming. To practically navigate this, you must establish non-negotiable rituals of energetic hygiene and soulful connection. This means creating daily moments of absolute silence, whether through meditation, mindful walking in nature, or simply sitting in quiet contemplation without any distractions. In this silence, you allow the mental chatter to settle and you create the space for your intuition, the direct voice of your soul, to speak to you. This is also the time to engage in practices that actively cleanse your aura, such as visualizing yourself surrounded by a powerful, purifying white or golden light, taking cleansing baths with sea salt, or using sage or incense to clear your physical space. These practices are not superstitious. They are practical tools that signal to your subconscious and the universe that you are an active participant in your purification and that you are committed to maintaining a high vibrational field. Another essential step is to consciously practice radical acceptance and gratitude for the process itself. This does not mean you have to be happy about the discomfort, but it means you stop fighting it. You acknowledge the loneliness, the confusion, and the pain, and you thank the universe for them anyway. You utter the powerful words, "I may not understand this, but I trust it is for my highest good. I accept this lesson." This act of grateful surrender is a high vibrational key that unlocks the next stage of your journey. It tells the cosmos that you are ready to receive the wisdom embedded within the challenge, and it dramatically accelerates the entire transformational process, moving you from a state of struggle to a state of graceful allowing. As you consistently apply these practices, you will begin to notice the dawn of a new, profound sense of inner peace and self-sufficiency. The same silence that once felt like loneliness will become a cherished sanctuary. The decisions that once filled you with anxiety will be made with a newfound clarity and conviction. You will start to feel a gentle yet unshakable power rising from within you, a power that is not dependent on external validation, people, or circumstances. This is the birth of your sovereign self, the individual who can walk through the world connected to others, but never again derailed by them, firmly anchored in their own truth and divine purpose. Ultimately, this entire spiritual test, as orchestrated by the universe according to Sylvia Browne's wisdom, has one magnificent goal: to strip away the false identity you have accumulated, the masks, the people-pleasing, the fear-based choices, so that your true, eternal, and radiant essence can finally emerge and lead your life. The person you were before this process began needed those external crutches. The person you are becoming is the crutch for others. The discomfort you feel is the cracking of the shell, not the destruction of the seed. You are not falling apart, you are breaking open. And from this open, vulnerable, and powerfully authentic space, you will begin to attract relationships, opportunities, and a life that resonates at the same high frequency you have fought so hard to achieve. A life that is not just lived, but truly, divinely aligned. So as you move through the rest of this day and feel that subtle yet undeniable shift in the energy around you, remember the profound truth behind this experience. The weight you feel is not a burden meant to crush you, but the sacred pressure required to shape you into a more resilient and brilliant version of yourself. The isolation you sense is not a sentence of loneliness, but a divine invitation to discover the profound and unshakable companionship of your own soul, a relationship that will become the bedrock of your entire existence moving forward. Every confusing thought and resurfaced memory is not a sign of regression, but a crucial part of the excavation process where the universe is helping you clear out the emotional rubble to lay a new, stronger foundation for the life you are destined to live. This journey you find yourself on, as silent and disorienting as it may seem in the midst of the mist, is the clearest evidence that the cosmos has marked you for elevation. You have been chosen for this test not because you are weak or flawed, but because you possess a strength and a light within you that is ready to be fully unleashed upon the world. The universe does not waste its time with ordinary trials for those who are content with an ordinary existence. It reserves its most potent and transformative challenges for those souls it is preparing for an extraordinary purpose, for a life of greater impact, deeper love, and truer expression than you have ever allowed yourself to imagine. Therefore, do not pray for an easier path or a quicker escape from this feeling. Instead, pray for the courage to walk this one with grace. Pray for the wisdom to see the lessons hidden within every moment of discomfort. Pray for the strength to release what needs to be released and to embrace the unknown that lies ahead. The universe is not testing you to make you fail. It is testing you to prove to yourself just how powerful you truly are, to make you aware of a fortitude and a faith that you never knew you possessed, and to prepare you for the incredible new cycle that is waiting just on the other side of this initiation. The energy has shifted because you are shifting. The world feels different because you are becoming different. Embrace this sacred disruption, for it is the undeniable proof that your spiritual evolution is accelerating at a breathtaking pace. Trust the process, even in its silence. Honor the feelings, even in their intensity. And know, with every fiber of your being, that you are not being abandoned in the forest. You are being guided through it to a clearing more beautiful and more aligned with your soul than you have ever known. If this message resonated with the changes you're feeling, if you see your own journey in these words, then you are already part of this awakening. Subscribe to the channel for more guidance to navigate these energetic shifts, and let us know in the comments. What sign did you recognize in yourself today? Your journey is unique, but you don't have to walk it alone.